Hello, my name is Mariana, and today this is a reading for Taurus. So Taurus, as usual, I'm doing a reading with my own tarot deck, so the cards that you see are from this deck. So Taurus, what I have for you today is a very simple and caring message about remembrance. Remembering where you came from, where you started, where this phase that you're in right now began. So it's like go back to the beginning, because there is an important realization that needs to happen, because it seems like you are not giving yourself the credit for where you are right now. But it's not like something that is external to you that is showing you that. It's just that the message here is emphasizing the fact that this is a right moment for you to go back to the beginning, to where, this phase that you're in right now started. Because it seems like there is, it's like there is significance in terms of you reconnecting to that type of emotional safety, emotional security that you had when you had a few doubts about where you're going to go, or how would you get to where you are back then. It used to be like this kind of uncertainty thing. So it's like go back to that moment, because it seems like you are going to benefit from remembering this. So the reason why I'm emphasizing the remembrance is because we're beginning with the Six of Cups. So this is talking about remembering where you came from, specifically those words, where you came from. It's important that you remember where you felt like you had the most comfort, the most security, but in terms of emotion, in terms of maybe family ties or family relationships, or loving connections, because this is what this is emphasizing, the Six of Cups. And it's interesting because it's kind of it's almost like the Four of Cups is ending the reading, so it's like beginning with the cups and ending with the cups, meaning it's all internal feelings, it's all in the realm of the emotions, right? But we're going to get there, because this is what I'm talking about, this emotional security. It's like this is what you're going to find when you go back there, when you remember how it felt to be starting this path where you are right now, right? So here with the Six of Cups, it carried the message of go back to where you came from, remember where you came from. And I want to correct that. It's not necessarily that you need to go back there physically. With the Eight of Pentacles, it could be the start of your career. It could be the start of your financial independence. Because what this Eight of Pentacles was talking about is like not only go back to where you came from, but go back to where this phase of your life, in terms of your financial independence, or your like this autonomy, right, started. Go back to where this started, to where your career started. And because it wants to tie in to the phase that you're living right now, it doesn't necessarily need to be like, the beginning of the beginning, right? Like just like this very far away past. It can be the beginning of this phase that you are feeling like you're working on right now, right? So it's mostly emotional, but there are things that are connected to like what you do for a living right now, right? What is your source of income? What is your career? What is your how you take care of your own body? It could be like just like how is your like the way of living that you have right now, right? How you feel like you earn your living, in a sense. And it doesn't need to be necessarily in terms of career, as I said, like what you have studied for. It's like a short-term kind of thing, right? It's like a recent past, where this started, where you came from. So this could be like where you came from in terms of connecting back to your roots, right? Where you have like those emotional connections, those relationships that are very significant for you. But the Eight of Pentacles is wanting to it wants to give a time frame in a sense. It's like where you find your abundance, where you find your current wealth or your current state of living. It's like this is where it's like connect to what you're doing right now. Go back to the moment that you started that thing, right? That you're doing right now. Because with the Nine of Cups coming next, where you are right now, Taurus, is exactly where you wanted to be when this started. So it's almost like go back to the feeling of wanting so bad to be exactly where you are, not knowing that you would eventually get here. And this is the interesting thing about the Eight of Pentacles. It really doesn't matter how long or how short it took for you to get to where you are right now, because it wants to be a recent past kind of thing. So if we're talking about weeks, then, you know, it's weeks for you. If we're talking about months or years, that's your time frame. But it's not so long ago. I'm not seeing this as like past life connection or anything like that. It's pretty much this life. The type of emotional remembrance that goes back to a moment that it's like if you close your eyes, you're taken back there, right? That's the reason why I was talking about go back to where you came from. It's like if you close your eyes, like your psyche goes there, your emotions go there, your unconscious is there, right? So this is why this wants to be like something that is not that far away, right? So, but here with the Seven of Swords coming after this Nine of Cups, what this Nine of Cups is talking about is like what you wanted so much, what you remember, like the feelings that you had, right, back then when you envision being exactly where you are right now. It's like how you imagine that you would be feeling. It's like those emotions that are connecting. These are the bridges that like just remind you of the hopes and wishes and desires, but also the fears. Because what the Seven of Swords is talking about is that maybe at that time, along with this remembrance of going back to where it all started, where your path of finding your financial freedom, of your or your abundance, your successful career, whatever you're doing now for a living, where it all started carries a lot of emotion activation in a sense, because it triggers both the good and the not so good, right? It's like it's all enmeshed in one big thing. It's like it's all one big bubble of memory, right? It brings back not only everything that you desired, everything that you hoped for, everything that you wished, but also everything that you doubted possible or that you questioned that you were capable of achieving. Because what these two together are emphasizing is that along with what you're going to find, which is this ultimately, is that together with this process of believing that it was possible, there was this perhaps like this belief also that you were dreaming too big. You know what I mean? It's like you were questioning your own ability to achieve this or to reach this goal or to make this dream come true. It's like perhaps at that time, it's like the same way that you wanted it so bad, it's like you also thought at that time that it would be impossible. It's like a very far away thing, right, to accomplish. So this is all mixed here. It's like a mixed bag of emotions, right? It's like all coming together. But at some point, even here with all of the doubt, even here in this crazy kind of like cloud of, you know, wanting but not believing that you could do. It's like you found your way. With the Ace of Swords coming next, it's like no matter how much you doubted, no matter how much you couldn't really believe that dreaming big would pay off eventually, or it would be possible, right? It's like you found your way. It's like you found a direction. This is what, so it's like clicking, what I want to say, it's like they're also in this remembrance, going back to that point where you began shifting your mind, right? It's like there was a point where this clicked, where there was this shift in terms of mindset. It's like here, perhaps we're talking about self-sabotaging or doubting yourself. And here there's clarity, there's focus, there's direction. It's like, and I'm getting chills. It's like you can feel, right? It's like something that emotionally touches you, because you can feel, it's like through the emotions, you can go back to the exact moment that you felt that shift in your mindset. And I want to say it's because you weren't necessarily doing something just close-minded. You know, when you're so focused in something that you forget about everything else. This is not necessarily the case, because the Queen of Cups following next, it's like it's talking about this direction coming from the heart. So yes, here we have the mind in a sense, but actually the heart is the guidance. It's the guidance. It's like here you had this ability to perceive that there was a way through this phase of not feeling like you could accomplish this, because you dropped into your heart, because you trusted your heart, because at some point you stopped listening to what your mind was, going in circles, making you believe that achieving this would be impossible. So dropping into the heart, actually, it's almost like I'm seeing this as a scale, right? It's like on one side there are your desires and wishes and your dreams, big dreams, I want to say. And here on the other side of the scale, back then, there were the doubts and, everything that was against you in a sense. And I want to say most of all, it's like your own thoughts, your own mindset that was just running in circles in this self-sabotaging cycle, right? But at some point, it's like that scale stopped being so heavy on this side, because you chose to continue believing that dreaming big would be something that it would pay off, that it would be manifested, that you would be able to accomplish that, because you trusted your heart. And because you trusted your heart, it's like your mind was clear, right? So it's like coming from the heart, but directing your mind. And when your mind is directed, it's like there aren't it's like enough thoughts that can outbalance that, right? It's like the heart is it's like the one that gives the last word, right? It's the ultimate guidance. So it's like trusting that actually gave you something that is the most important thing right now for what you're living right now. For it's like where you are, that seems to be where you wanted to be, not so far ago, right? It's like it's like if you go back to, maybe a month ago, a year ago, a couple of years ago, maybe perhaps, before the pandemic, because it is so fresh, it is still very recent. It's like what were your dreams back then? What were your desires back then? And go back to everything that happened. It's like step by step that led you to shifting your mind, because you trusted your heart. And because you trusted your heart, it's like your heart was at peace, your heart was safe, your emotions were very secure, right? The Four of Cups is just talking about how your emotions were under control in a sense, right? It's like you were drawing a line. Instead of allowing your mind to run in circles and to go wild, it's like you drew a line with your emotions. So it's almost like you didn't let your mind go to your heart. It was the opposite, right? It's like your heart was controlling your mind. It's like you were showing your mind a way through your heart. And because of that, it became very clear that you were safe, that you had this incredible, it's like this safety net. But it wasn't coming from anybody else, right? This was coming from you. It's like your connection to your own emotions. It's like you trusted yourself more than anything, because it's like it's very it's like how do I say this? It's like it's motivated because you knew that you could just go after your dreams, right? And it's like if you want to make your dreams come true, it's like nobody else can do that but you, right? So you had to work a lot, I want to say, because of the Eight of Pentacles, right? So however long it's been since then to where you are right now, but it seems like now you are in a place where you can count your blessings, is what I just heard. But not only count your blessings in terms of your abundance, which shows how worth it was to follow your dreams, to follow this path. But most of all, it's like, go back to this place where you had your emotions under control, because it seems like it's almost like this is, it's like the starting point for a new phase, a new cycle, a new moment where perhaps your emotions are also going to be triggered. It's not necessarily in the cards, at least not here, but it's what I'm picking up intuitively, right? Because this feels like a nest, this feels like a cradle. It's almost like the way that you chose to act when you were, being led by your heart, when you trusted your heart to guide you, and that gave you this clarity of mind, removing all of the doubts. It's like this is what provided you with this nest so that you could feel calm. It's almost like this retreat, right? This is the word that I was looking for. It's like this is a retreat for your emotions. So you could keep on evolving and going after your dreams, building your dreams, right? Maybe going after your dream job or something like that. But it's like, it was because you were in this space. So because you had your emotions under control, is that you were able to move forward, right? And to get to where you are right now, which seems to be in a very good place. So don't forget where you came from. Go back there in terms of, reliving those emotions, because it's like that's going to provide you exactly what you needed back then, and which seems to be needed right now also. So Taurus, I am going to pull more cards for you, as well as the astrological runes in the extended reading. So if you want to join me there, I'll be very happy to see you. You can find the link down below. If not, I'll see you next time. Okay, bye.